Thank you very much, Judith. And my name is Rich McCarthy, and this webinar all about RILEM, an International Association for Materials, Building Systems and Structures. I'm the current chairman of ECSN, European Concrete Societies Network, and I will moderate this webinar. I'm also the managing director of the Swedish Concrete Association. The purpose of this webinar is to present RILEM, their activities and the free benefits. So first, a short presentation of ECSN, followed by a presentation by RILEM's implementation manager, Daniela Chancho. So I have some slides in the beginning to show. Our goal is to encourage cooperation between the members and thereby promote the development of concrete technology and use of concrete in Europe. We are currently 18 members, as you can see. The last one in was Greece and Portugal, and of course we are welcoming others. We have sent emails and so on to Spain and France. So we have had 3 webinars, very successful ones, and the first one was arranged in November 2021, and concrete. The topic was concrete and sustainability, an update on ongoing efforts in Europe. The second one was a bit narrower. It was binders and concrete for the next decade, but of course, sustainability topic, because that's the main topic. The whole concrete sector is working mostly with sustainability for famous reasons, and that was in 2023. And the last one was arranged this year in February. Concrete and sustainability, an update on ongoing efforts in Europe, part 2. And this one attracted 600 participants, which was we were happy about that. And as Judith said, we have a international partnership agreement between ECSN and RILEM, and the purpose is to encourage collaboration and cooperation between ECSN and RILEM. I think you all know, but what is RILEM? It stands for the International Union of Laboratories and Experts in Construction, Materials, Systems and Structures. It's a non-profit association whose mission is to advance scientific knowledge related to construction materials, systems and structures, and to encourage transfer and application of this knowledge worldwide. RILEM's presentation will show the details of the active technical committees, the available publications, the educational courses, and many more RILEM activities and free benefits. So that's the purpose of this interesting webinar. Thank you, RILEM, for having us. And then, as Judith said, Daniela Chancho is the implementation manager who will have this presentation about RILEM. And Daniela's duties and responsibilities are the promotion of RILEM, the coordination and support of RILEM's activities and committees, and the implementation of RILEM strategic items. So that was it. The floor is yours, Daniela.
Thank you so much, Richard. I start to share my screen. And I will just share the presentation. And here we are. It's taking some time to go in presentation mode. Here we are. So I hope everybody can hear me well and can see the presentation. Richard, you are the only one with the microphone open, so it's up to you to say yes.
Yeah.
Yes? Okay.
Yeah, I can see. And also, I forgot to mention that after your presentation, it's possible for all of you to ask questions in Q&A after the presentation, of course.
Thank you, Richard. So unfortunately, this is a webinar mode, it's not a meeting. So the attendance, people connected, doesn't have the possibility to open the microphone and stop me. So I will go with the presentation, but I will be very happy to answer any questions, if any, of course. So RILEM and European Concrete Societies Network signed a partnership in February last year. And since then, we started to collaborate, and we thought that this informative webinar would be also good to let members of the societies of ECSN know about RILEM. RILEM is an old lady. It's 75 years old, around. It was established in 1947 in Paris. That was a period after the Second World War, when some directors of research laboratories from around the world decided to join forces and to create this association. The idea was to share knowledge and to work together to rebuild the world that was quite devastated after the war. So 75 years ago, these people had from all around the world had some ideas, some missions, some goals. There was to promote the cooperation at international scale, to set up new directions of research, to transfer the knowledge about building materials and structures, and to promote sustainable and safe construction. Nowadays, the goals of RILEM are still the same. And just to put some faces on the association, RILEM has 3 presidents, so I don't know if you might recognize some familiar faces. The president at the moment is Dr. Nicolas Rossel from the University of Gustave Eiffel in France. The vice president is Professor Neil de Billy from the Ghent University in Belgium. And the outgoing president is Professor Ravindra Gettu from IIT Madras in India. Every year, RILEM organizes our annual week, which is a big event. And the person organizing this event is nominated honorary president. So this year, the honorary president is Professor Alexandra Bertrand from France, from Toulouse. RILEM is a bottom-up organization. That means the presidents are not at the top of the association. They look after the association and make sure that everything is done properly, but all the decisions are proposed and voted by the members. There are some committees inside RILEM that manage these proposals and make sure that they reach the final General Council in the proper format. And during the General Council, that is a meeting happening once a year, all RILEM members can connect and can vote. Who are these members? RILEM has 2 categories, big categories of members, the individuals and the corporate members. So I would like to invite you to have a look at the RILEM website where all the corporate members are listed, because you might be affiliated to some of those corporate members. And if not, you can join RILEM as an individual member, young, if you are younger than 35, senior or retired. And if you think that your company might be interested in joining RILEM, RILEM offers 3 kinds of corporate members, the associate, institutional, and industrial. As I mentioned before, RILEM is an international organization. We currently have more than 3,000 members, 119 corporate, so individual members, and 119 corporate members from all around the world. mainly our members are from Europe, but we are encouraging other people from other parts of the world to join RILEM. So recently we are experiencing higher numbers from in China or in India, and we are focusing our work in Latin America and in Africa because we want the Global South to be involved. Okay, this was just the chit-chat of the association. What is RILEM? A non-profit organization with 3,000 individual members and many corporate members. But how does it work exactly? You have to think about RILEM as an umbrella that brings together people from all around the world, from different backgrounds and different experience. And RILEM does this by creating technical committees, which are a group of people, experts in a certain topic, and they join forces over a length period of 5 to 7 years to advance the knowledge on a certain research topics. You have to think that 75 years ago, when RILEM was established, the documents produced by the RILEM technical committees were even used as standards. Nowadays, this doesn't happen anymore, but still the documents produced by RILEM are used as pre-standardization documents. In fact, the technical committees usually work on hot topics, which are topics that are in need for the industry, certain procedures or certain materials that are not standardized yet. And so they need some guidelines, they need a state of the art, and they need a proper review. And this is what a technical committee does: investigate certain topics. In which areas? Well, RILEM at the moment has 47 technical committees grouped in 6 clusters, and each cluster has a topic. So as you can see, the first 4 clusters are on cementitious materials and concrete, so material processing and characterization, transport and deterioration mechanisms, structural performance and design, and surface life and environmental impact assessment. So as a person associated with the European Concrete Societies Network, I would think that you might be interested in any technical committees that is in these first 4 clusters. But RILEM is not only cement and concrete. We have 2 more clusters. One is about masonry, timber, and cultural heritage. Inside that that cluster, we have technical committees working on round earth, of earth and material in general, or bamboo or timber. And then we have the last cluster, which is bituminous materials and polymers, where the majority of the TCs there, the technical committees, work on asphalt and pavements. So you can see that the first 4 clusters are very numerous. So we have 12 technical committees in cluster A, 5 committees in cluster B, and so on. And the activities of each technical committees is guided by the cluster convener, and then the cluster convener report to a committee inside RILEM that is called TAC, the Technical Activity Committees, that meets twice a year. And during these meetings, the development of the activities of the technical committees is discussed and assessed. Here is a detail of the topics of the technical committees in cluster A. I'm sure that Richard will be very happy to circulate the PowerPoint presentation slides of this presentation, and all this text is linked. So each TC is linked to a RILEM webpage where there are more details about each technical committees. As you can see that we have cementitious additions in concrete on agro-based materials, but we also have technical committees on accelerated mineral carbonation, on a very hot topic. We have magnesia-based binders in concrete. So you can read all the topics here. Cluster B is about corrosion and sustainable and long-term behavior. So it's transport and deterioration. There are 5 technical committees at the moment. Cluster C is all about structure performance and design. So you can have non-destructive text, or you can have structural design of textile reinforced concrete. You can read all the topics here. Cluster D is about service life and environmental impact. So you can find technical committees working on LCA, on carbon dioxide uptake, etc. The red ones are the new, recently established committees. And then very quickly, I'm not sure how much you might be interested in that. We'll have the technical committees of Cluster E on earth and bamboo and timber and masonry, and the technical committees of Cluster F on asphalt and pavements. So a committee is a group of people that meets 1 or twice a year. In the past, these meetings were in person, but after COVID, majority of these meetings are online, in person, or hybrid. Most of the time hybrid. So there is not even a cost associated to attend the meeting, because if you want to join the technical committee, you can do it and you can participate online during the meetings. As I said previously, a technical committee usually has a life of 5 to 7 years. During or at the end of this period, the technical committee members produce publications that could be recommendations, reports, etc. This is where the mission to transfer the knowledge comes in, because the majority of these publications are free to everyone. So, for instance, recommendations are open access paper. In reality, they are free access paper, but at the end of the day, for you, the meaning is the same, because you're free to download. They don't cost a penny, and they're published by the International Journal Material Structure, MAAS. Then sometimes the technical committees organize conferences or workshops, and then at the end of that, there is a book of proceedings, and these are published by Springer's or RILEM publications. The committees can also produce reports or papers in topical collections published still by the Journal Material Structures. And every time a technical committee is established, or every time a technical committee finalizes its activities, the chair and deputy chair are invited to write a paper in the journal RILEM Technical Letters, which is 100% open access journal. Then the technical committee can also produce a book that is called State of the Art Report, that is published by Springer, but the unedited version is available for free on the RILEM website for everyone. As I said, you can download majority of these publications from our website. I would like, if it's not too much time, it doesn't require too much time, at the end of this PowerPoint presentation, I would like to share with you my screen and show you where on the RILEM website you can download all these publications. So for those that are not familiar with Material and Structures, it's a journal that was established many, many years ago. It's the flagship journal of RILEM, and it's published by Springer's. It doesn't publish only outcomes of the technical committee's activity. So everyone is welcome to submit a paper in Material and Structures, as long as the topic is related to the topics of the journal. RILEM Technical Letters is a journal that is 100% open access, 100% funded by RILEM, and there must be at least one RILEM member in the list of authors of any letter published by this journal. Then also we publish an annual report and a technical report every year. The annual report tells you the numbers of the association, so how many members, how many new members, the finance of the association, the number of events, and the number of publications, etc. So the state, the well-being of the association. The technical report is something that I invite you to download. It's free to know more about the technical committees, because this report is published every year. RILEM is finalizing the last version that will be published by the end of August. The technical reports list the progress of all the technical committees. So you can see by looking at this report, is a TC is at the end of its life or is still at the beginning, and how much work is left to do, or how much work has been done. As I mentioned before, RILEM has two, I mentioned the annual week, which is one of the two major events of RILEM. The annual week happens usually around the fall in Europe. So this year will be in France by the end of August. Next year will be in Vietnam, still by the end of August or beginning of September. And in 2026, it will be in Kenya. But also there is another event, which is called the Spring Convention, that happens during the European spring. And next year will be in Switzerland, and the year after will be in Ghent, in Belgium. So RILEM, the technical committees, produce publications that are made available to everyone, but the educational work of RILEM is also done by a group of RILEM members that sit in the RILEM educational activities, EAC, in charge of organizing webinars. And in particular, this committee, standing committees of RILEM, is behind the organization of a monthly webinar called Rock and Talk. It's a very short webinar, it's only 30 minutes, and it only happens once a month on the first Thursday of each month. But after the 30-minute presentation, there is a session of question and answer that is 30 minutes long. And it's a good opportunity to ask questions to the presenter. The speakers are very famous, internationally renowned speakers on topics that are related to the activities of RILEM. And if you are a chartered engineer and you need CPT credits, you can apply for the CPT credits issued by the Institute of Concrete Technology, who is a RILEM partner. If you cannot join a webinar because you're busy, because you didn't have time, you can still watch the webinar, the recording on the webinars on our YouTube channel, where you will find lots of other videos, not only the webinars. So every time a technical committee ends its activities, usually there is a presentation during the annual week or the spring convention, and this presentation is recorded. And then there are many other lectures recorded and posted on the RILEM YouTube channel, all for free. If you are a young engineer or scientist, you might be interested in the awards of RILEM. So RILEM gives one Robert Lermite medal every year to someone, a researcher less than 40, 2 Gustavo Colonetti medals, and you must be younger than 35. If you present a paper or a poster, during the annual week, you might be entitled to receive the Best Student Poster Award. And it's not the case if you're connected from Europe, but for young people coming from developing countries, then there is also a economical help to attend in person one of the events of RILEM, the annual week. Just to have an idea, if you don't know if it could be the case for you to apply for this medal or not, this year the Robert Lermite medal was given to José Norambuena, who is a professor working in the area of asphalt and pavement. And the 2 Colonetti medals were given to Rob Wolf from Eindhoven University, working on 3D printing, and Zeming Li from Harbin Institute, working on shrinkage, concrete shrinkage. And this is a sentence of a senior RILEM member, not for his age, but for his long activities in RILEM, Robert Torrent, that he thinks about his time in joining RILEM like the time for a young player and to have the opportunity to play with Pelé or Maradona or Messi. This is his point of view of his experience when he joined a technical committee. We understand that young people might be not scared, but not quite confident to join a group of international experts. So RILEM has created the RILEM Youth Council, which is a group of young members that have the purpose to encourage young members to actively participate into the activities of the technical committees. And we also encourage the participation of industry members, and this is an endorsement from our RILEM members, Dr. Frakoulis Kanavaris, working for ARUP, and saying how, although it is based, his contribution is done on a voluntary basis, is quite happy to do it. These are our partners, international partners, like the European Concrete Societies Network, but these are our corporate. So I don't know if you work for any of the corporate members of RILEM. And talking about the environment, we would like to emphasize, RILEM would like to emphasize the importance of the carbon footprint of the built environment. And for this reason, RILEM supports GLOBE, which is an initiative for a global consensus on sustainability in the built environment. It started as a statement, and now it's a proper group of people working to make sure that the knowledge that RILEM produces, but the science that is out there, reaches the important people that are the decision-making people, so that the future is a little bit greener. Okay, so I mentioned the possibility to download publications to join a technical committees. All this is free. And to do that, if you go on our RILEM website, www.rilem.net, on the top right side, you will see a registration button. And once you click there, you can click on create your free account. So you have to register. Once you register without paying anything, you will be given some credentials to log in. And once you do that, you will have access at all the publications that are in the published on the RILEM website, and you can ask to join a technical committee. So you will be automatically inserted in the list of members. Recently, RILEM has created a new rule that is to be approved, according to which you start as an observer in a technical committee and then you become a member. This is because there are some technical committees that have reached an amazing number of members, more than 200, and it's quite hard to manage a group of people so big. Other TCs are far more manageable when there are only 40 or 50 members. But if you create your free account at the moment, you will then have the possibility to join any technical committee. This means that you will be invited to join a meeting. You will be listed, you will be receiving the documents that the technical committees is producing during these meetings. You have also another option, which is to become a member. In that case, there are some fees to pay, but there are far more benefits. So for instance, if you participate in a technical committee, not just an observer watching what is being developed, but you actively contribute in the research of this topic, and then you want to be listed as an author of a publication of these technical committees, in that case, you will have to become a member, so you will have to pay some fees. But the reason for that is because many of these publications will be open access and RILEM will pay for that. So, and RILEM pays for that based on the membership fees. So it's just a common benefit for everyone. This is just a slide about the fees for 2024. And this is us. So for those that joined from the very beginning, you met Judith, who is the General Secretary. Then there are two more people in Paris at the headquarters, Aurélie Martin-Gay, the management assistant, and Anne Griffon, the head of publications and communication. And then it's me, Daniela Chancho. This is my email. RIM stands for RILEM Implementation Manager @ext.rilem.org.